It's that time again, guys. Welcome to watch review number 3, and this time round it's a review of this Seiko SRPE55K1, affectionately called the DressKX due to some design cues taken from Seiko's iconic diver, the SKX. However, let's discuss why this watch is such a great timepiece on its own merits, a great value proposition, and why it's not simply an SKX without a dive bezel. Let's get straight onto the case then. This case has a size of 40 millimeters with a thickness of 11.5 millimeters. It has a lug to lug of 44 millimeters and a lug width of 20 millimeters. And look, drilled lugs, so it's easy to change straps. Thank you, Seiko. The case has a stainless steel construction and it has a polished bezel and polished sides, and in between that we have a brushed finish, and this gives it a good level of detail, although it has a very understated design. At 4 o'clock we have an unsigned crown, and this is not a screw down crown. However, the watch does have 100 meters of water resistance, which is very respectable for an everyday dress up or dress down watch such as this one. Protecting the dial, we have Seiko's proprietary hardlex crystal, which is not rated as hard as sapphire crystal, but is much more durable than the standard mineral crystal. And during my time of use, I have no scratches on this dial, despite a few bumps here and there. Now, earlier on we mentioned detail, didn't we? And if we turn the watch to the back, we have a display case back, which is also covered by Seiko's proprietary hardlex crystal. Now, the movement is not rated as a high-end movement even by Seiko itself, and it's not a highly decorated movement. So why do I think this is a nice, cool touch to the watch? Well, if you're new to mechanical watches, this provides a visual aid on how mechanical watches work. And even if you're not new to mechanical watches, it's nice from time to time to look at how your watch is functioning. I personally find it quite therapeutic. How about you? Onto the dial now. It's a matte black dial with a nicely applied Seiko logo and Seiko's 5 Sports logo and automatic printed underneath. At 3 o'clock, we have a very handy day date complication. And for the hour markers, we have oval shapes at 6 and 9 o'clock. We have a triangle at 12 o'clock. And the rest of the markers are circles. Shall we say that this dial is just a lazy carbon copy of the Seiko SKX? Well, no, we won't say that. Why? Because each of the markers are framed with a high polish finish, giving it more refinement. Looking at the hands, we have a syringe style hour marker, an arrow shaped minute marker, and a seconds hand which is in the lollipop style. And if we look on the outer edge of the dial, we have a well aligned chapter ring. Well done, Seiko. Hopefully that's a sign of better things to come with future watches. Back on the subject of hour markers and hands, we have Seiko's notoriously well-regarded Lumibright, which is considered by many one of the best in the business. It's not hard to see why, as it's never been a sore point for any of my Seiko watches, including this one. It shines brightly when fully charged and lasts a good amount of time. What about the movement then? What about underneath that dial? Powering the watch is Seiko's in-house 4R36 movement. It has 23 joules, moves at 21,600 beats per hour, features hand winding and hacking, and has a respectable 40 hours of power reserve. It has an accuracy rating of plus 45 to minus 35 seconds per day, although as usual, my watch tends to run well within that, and I've had no real issues with time accuracy from day to day. The bracelet is a standard Seiko 5 affair. hollow end links, hollow links throughout the bracelet, pins for removal and attachment of links, and a stamped clasp. Now, of course, this could be much better, but for the price, I'm not offended by this. Something that does bother me though is the lack of micro adjustment, and if you can see here, there are only 2 pins for micro adjustment. For me personally, the watch can tend to be a tiny bit on the tight side when loosening the micro adjustments, which means I'll have to remove a link, but then when I remove the link, the watch is too loose. So a 3rd micro adjustment would have been handy for me and my wrist. Even so, it does look nice on the wrist. Let's have a look. Before we do that, a wristwatch check. Omega Seamaster Professional quartz. We'll go more into that on another video. So there you go. Looks very nice. And as you can see, you can imagine this on with a shirt and tie for a dressy occasion, but also it goes well with what I'm wearing now. I've just got a hoodie on now. So things that I like about this watch. Well, as I mentioned before, due to the great dimensions, it's one of the most versatile watches that you can find at this price point. It looks great next to a shirt and tie, or in jeans and a t-shirt. The strap options for this are just awesome. Not simply because of the 20mm lug width, but also due to its understated design and the muted colours that we have here. There are a number of different colourways and finishes in the DressKX line, so I'd encourage you to look at all of them if you can, particularly the sunburst grey dial model, as that's another one of my favourites. Any other positives? Yes, the price. Now, this typically sells brand new in the UK for between £180 and £230. Even at the higher price, you're getting a Seiko watch with great looks, versatility, an in-house movement, a display case back, and solid, durable build. So it's an absolute steal if you ask me. Now, although there's a lot that I like about this watch, I do have a few dislikes. Firstly, as mentioned earlier, the bracelet is very lackluster. Not just because of the hollow links and end links, but because of the lack of micro adjustment, which means less possibility of comfort for many wrists. Now, many micro brands provide much better than this, and although I do believe it's good value for a Seiko, it wouldn't have cost a lot to add 1 or 2 more holes for micro adjustment and more comfort. Another dislike that I have about the watch is the Seiko 5 Sports logo. I would have preferred for that to go on the back so that the dial is a lot cleaner. Imagine this with just Seiko and automatic, nice and clean. You've got this nice applied Seiko logo and then this printing underneath, blocking up the beauty of the dial. I feel similar when it comes to the Prospex logo and the Presage logo. Why do we always need the sub-branding on these Seiko watches? Why do we always need to know that it's a more affordable Seiko or it's a bit of a higher end Seiko? Why not just have Seiko, automatic, classic Seiko style? Do what you did with Grand Seiko, please. You saw that there was no need for Seiko on the top of the dial and then Grand Seiko at the bottom, filling up the dial. So you removed the Seiko logo and just kept Grand Seiko, and now your Grand Seiko watches look a lot cleaner. Please do this with your other lines of Seiko watches. Put them on the back, or even better, put the 5 or the Presage or the Prospex logo on the unsigned crown. Then you're giving people more value for money. You've got a signed crown and more value for money, please do that, Seiko. Then we'll love what you're doing, and these will go from great to really great. Despite these thoughts though, I still think this is a great, fun, all-round watch, and maybe the perfect one watch collection for some of you out there. Those are my thoughts. How about you? How do you feel about the Seiko DressKX? Please comment and let me know your thoughts. Also, if you liked this video, hit the like button and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Until next time, I'll see you again soon.